When an eternal empire finally begins to crumble, the very first crack often appears in the most unexpected place. Surprisingly, the collapse starts at the very heart of the empire, among the supporters who once defended it most fervently. In the South Korean smartphone market, an unbelievable phenomenon is currently unfolding right before our eyes. For a decade, the iPhone was a fortress for the 20s, creating a social stigma for those who did not use it. Those who once wore the label of Apple loyalists with pride are now abandoning the brand in significant numbers. This is not mere speculation or opinion, but a cold reality proven by hard, statistical data that was recently released. Just 1 year ago, Apple's dominance among 20-somethings was overwhelming, holding a massive 64% market share. However, in 2025, that figure has unexpectedly dropped to 60% in a very short period. Even more alarming is the future intent, with plans to buy iPhones dropping from 60 to 50% in a year. Conversely, Samsung Galaxy has surged forward, climbing from 36% to 46% in consumer preference. A massive 24 percentage point gap has narrowed to a mere 4 percentage point difference in just one single year. We must ask what happened, given the perception that iPhones are stylish while Galaxies are for older generations. Today, we analyze the crisis of the Apple empire and the surprising resurrection of the Galaxy brand. The first major shift to observe is the rebellion of practicality among the younger economic generation today. Facing severe unemployment and high inflation, the 20s view smartphones as survival tools rather than simple fashion items. In this harsh economic landscape, the mobile device must serve as a functional weapon for daily survival and work. This environment exposes Apple's most critical weakness in the Korean market, which is the absence of call recording. For social rookies, recording calls is essential for capturing interview schedules and instructions from their superior officers. The anxiety of failing to record crucial moments like real estate contracts is significantly high for these young users. Online reviews are flooding in about difficult situations caused by missing details while frantically trying to take notes manually. Line 21. Although Apple Pay has finally entered the market, it still faces significant limitations and is frequently rejected at many locations. Hearing Apple Pay not accepted at small cafes or traditional markets makes the user of a pricey device feel surprisingly small. The liberating feeling of leaving the house with just a phone and no wallet offers a powerful sense of daily freedom. This tangible sense of efficacy has started to win over the intangible and superficial brand sensibility that Apple relies upon. A cynical phrase is now circulating among the 20s, asking if Apple's emotional vibe will actually put food on the table. The second major factor driving this exodus is a fascinating cultural shift regarding what is considered cool and trendy. The old formula that Galaxy is for older men and iPhone is for the hip crowd has been completely shattered. The protagonist of this dramatic reversal is undoubtedly the Galaxy Z Flip, which has captured the imagination of the youth. This device, which folds neatly in half, is viewed not merely as a machine, but as a legitimate fashion statement. Bored with the identical and static designs of the iPhone, the 20s are flocking to the customizable nature of the Flip. A vibrant culture of phone decorating has emerged, where users cover their flips with stickers and attach colorful keyrings. This trend perfectly targets the Generation Z desire to express unique individuality rather than owning what everyone else has. Samsung successfully identified and pierced through this specific desire for self-expression that the rigid iPhone ecosystem ignores. To deliver the decisive final blow, Samsung introduced the powerful and versatile capabilities of Galaxy AI to the market. By partnering with Google, Samsung released features that were not only intelligent but also incredibly fun to use. The AI eraser function became a hit, allowing users to seamlessly remove an ex-boyfriend from a favorite photograph. Real-time translation features dissolved language barriers, instantly interpreting conversations with foreigners during calls or travel. These features spread virally like memes on TikTok and Reels, creating a buzz that Apple could not match. Consequently, Galaxy transformed its image from a boring work phone into a device that is genuinely fun to play with. Line 41. The Apple we once knew as the undisputed icon of innovation has completely lost its direction in the modern era. When the artificial intelligence revolution swept the world in 2023, Apple remained strangely silent and inactive. Siri, once a pioneer, has become a stagnant relic, repeating the same useless answers for a decade. Belatedly announcing Apple Intelligence, they faced a humiliating reality check regarding their actual technical capabilities. Despite flashy advertisements promising the world, the features were delayed to next year, disappointing everyone. It got so bad that US advertising regulators warned them to stop lying and correct their website claims. Admitting a lack of internal technology, they had to borrow brains from rivals like OpenAI and Google. The myth of Apple's exclusive, superior technology crumbled the moment they asked competitors for help. The hardware situation is even more dire, with consumers asking what actually changed in the iPhone 16. After 4 years of identical designs, the only innovation was a slightly heavier titanium material. The most shocking insult to consumers is the screen refresh rate on their standard expensive models. While cheap budget phones offer smooth 120Hz screens, the expensive iPhone still stutters at 60. This arrogance, assuming people will buy anything with an Apple logo, has finally triggered a backlash. Rational young consumers have decided to stop tolerating this blatant mistreatment and cost-cutting. Beyond product failures, we must look at the massive regulatory wave crashing down on Apple. Apple's golden goose was its closed ecosystem, a strategy designed to lock users in a digital prison. However, governments worldwide are now smashing these walls down with aggressive new laws. The EU forced open the gates, and the US Department of Justice has launched historic antitrust lawsuits. They are attacking the core strategy of iMessage, questioning why blue and green bubbles must be segregated. Total 5 parts, starting part 4/5. Block 1. Script. While external regulations are tough, the internal stagnation under the current leadership is arguably a much bigger problem. The current management may be gods of logistics, but they have failed to present a compelling new vision. For 15 years, the company has milked Steve Jobs' legacy like a bone broth until the flavor ran out. Key designers leaving and AI talent defecting to rivals proves the internal loss of faith in the company. However, amidst this decline, a fascinating and ironic paradox has emerged in the demographics of smartphone users. While the 20s abandon iPhones for Galaxy, the 40s are moving in the exact opposite direction. Statistics show the iPhone market share among 40-somethings skyrocketed from 19 to 31% in just 1 year. The young 40 generation, desperate to feel youthful, is belatedly switching to the iPhone to capture that trendy image. It is ironic that the truly young seek practicality, while the older generation chases a youthful brand image. This contrasting movement highlights just how dynamically and unpredictably the smartphone market is currently shifting in Korea. Let us summarize the situation. This is not just a market share battle, but a fundamental paradigm shift. Historically, Apple was the first mover leading the market, while Samsung was merely the fast follower chasing behind. Today, those roles have completely reversed, with Samsung driving innovation and Apple scrambling to catch up to them. Samsung is leading form factor innovation with foldables and pioneered the completely new category of AI phones first. Rumors now suggest they are preparing to launch a revolutionary tri-fold phone that folds twice for maximum screen. Meanwhile, Apple struggles to release basic AI features on time, let alone a functional foldable device for consumers. The message this change sends to the industry and consumers is crystal clear and undeniable to everyone watching. No brand lasts forever, and consumers are far smarter than corporations often give them credit for these days. The premium value of the Apple logo has an expiration date without the substance of innovation supporting it. The 20-something consumers are proving that emotional branding cannot survive without practical utility and constant technological progress. Line 81. They still generate massive profits and maintain a legion of loyal customers who will stay with the brand. However, the departure of the 20s, the future pillars of consumption, is a grave and undeniable warning. It signifies that the deep roots of this once mighty empire are beginning to rot underneath the surface. We must also acknowledge that Samsung's recent success is not solely due to its own brilliance and strategy. Much of this gain is a reflexive benefit derived directly from Apple's strategic failures and lack of innovation. Samsung must not forget the painful lessons of the past, specifically the catastrophic Galaxy Note 7 explosion crisis. To avoid repeating such disastrous mistakes, they must remain humble and relentless in their pursuit of quality. If they become arrogant like their competitor has, the tide of public opinion can turn back quickly. The Apple, once the shining symbol of revolution, is now watching its light slowly fade into the background. In that dimming twilight, the Milky Way of the galaxy has begun to shine brightly once again. This celestial shift in the tech universe marks the beginning of a new era for all consumers. We are left to wonder what specific device we will be holding 5 or 10 years from now. Will it be a foldable, a rollable, or something we have not even imagined in our wildest dreams? The power to decide the winner of this war lies entirely in your hands as smart consumers. Your choices today will shape the technological landscape that we will live in for the next decade. Stay critical, stay demanding, and never settle for a brand that takes your loyalty for granted. That is the story of how the Galaxy became the new hip icon for the 20s generation.